My question was to the Minister for Roads, so assuming the Premier today. Thousands of young Victorians who have desperately been waiting to get their learners' permits are being told there are no new bookings being accepted. Premier, how many days, weeks or months does the Premier expect young people to wait until they can get their learner's permit and start to practice driving safely?
Call the Premier.
Thank you, Speaker. And I was starting to think that I might not get a question this week. I'm very pleased with these acting arrangements for the purposes of safety, of course. I can say to the member for Gembrook, as someone, as a father of a 18-year-old who's not quite got his hours up yet, this is something that is very important, not just to my family, but to many families across the board. And as I understand it, we've put in place a whole range of different settings. We've made extra investments to do more online, to have more appointments. It is unavoidable, though, that when we have, for the purposes of keeping families safe, well, I'm happy to take the matter on notice then, if you're not interested in the answer.
Point of order, the member for Gembrook.
Thank you very much, Speaker.
Order.
When answering questions in the House, it is a requirement that the answers are factual. And in a briefing with Vic Roads recently, it was actually revealed from Vic Roads, when you are talking about the fact of delivering online, they have said that it is unachievable in the near future, whilst the Premier wants to use that as a reason that people are going to get their licences back.
Order. Member for Gembrook, resume your seat. There's no point of order. Premier has a call.
Speaker, given that the member for Gembrook is perhaps a little less interested in the answer than he is in stoking division and playing games, I'll be more than happy to take this matter on notice, and I will ask the Minister to correspond to the member for Gembrook in writing.
Order. On a supplementary question, the member for Gembrook.
Thank you, Speaker. With the Premier's disinterest in young people trying to get their licence and learners in Victoria, I ask why thousands of young people who have their L plates, who have completed their 120 hours, are now waiting to get their P plates. With thousands of young people struggling to find a job, why are you making it harder by denying them the opportunity to get a driver's licence?
Premier.
Speaker, let me just take issue with one of the comments from the member for Gembrook. The only thing that we're disinterested in is playing politics with this pandemic, because it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And what I would say to the member for Gembrook is if he's asserting that this is not a wildly infectious virus, have a look around. Have a look around. If he's asserting that we could simply have had a business as usual approach to these arrangements every week, every month of 2020,
well, on a point of order, the member for Gembrook.
If the Premier is asserting he doesn't want to answer that question and answer the question for young people who are waiting to get their licence so they can get a job, maybe he should just sit down.
Premier has a call.
As I said, Speaker, playing politics and not even being particularly good at it doesn't do much for our fight against this virus. We've had to make changes because safety is important. Safety is important. And we'll not, even despite the eloquent urgings of the member for Gembrook, we'll not be cutting corners on this. We'll be doing this properly. And he's not interested in my answer, so I'll get him a further answer on notice, and he can be furnished with some facts rather than the political games that he's intent to play every day of this pandemic.